Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to do a Glowforge tutorial. A friend of mine asked me to put a couple recipes on these cutting boards, so I thought I would go ahead and film the process. This is a pretty popular thing to do with the Glowforge, and they turn out so great and they are perfect for gifts. So let's get started. I've opened up the scanned recipe in Photoshop. Now this is a very basic recipe. It's pretty easy. I just thought this would be a good one for the video because it won't take too long. But this is the same process that I would follow no matter how big or detailed the recipe is. So the very first thing I'm going to do is click the crop tool right over here. And we're going to just crop out anything that we don't need. This one's pretty much edge to edge, so there's not a lot to crop out. But if you have some extra decorative pieces on your recipe card or something like that, go ahead and crop out so that you have just the part you're trying to save. What I'm trying to save is just the writing. I don't want any of the lines. I don't want anything else. So the very next thing I'm going to do is go up to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to turn this to black and white. That looks great. So we're just going to click OK. Now the next thing I want to do is adjust the levels. There's a couple ways you can do that. You can go up to Image, Adjustments, click Levels, or I like to use the shortcuts with the layer selected. I'm just going to hit Command or Control L if you're on a Command L if you're on a Mac, Control L if you're on a PC. So that's going to bring up this levels control. So this white slider right here represents the whites. So I'm going to bring that to the right until I reach the peak of the whites, which is this area right here. So we're going to adjust that so that makes the white as it can be. And then I'm going to take the black slider, which is this one over here at the right, and I want to bring it to the edge of the blacks, which is this side. So I'm watching this peak right here. This side's white, this side's black. So I'm going to bring it to the black, and I'm kind of watching the recipe, seeing how black I can get those. And then this middle one is the midtones. If you slide it to the left, it makes the midtones lighter. If you slide it to the right, it makes the midtones darker. So we're still trying to keep that white as we can and keep the integrity of the letter. So you're just going to have to play with the sliders a little bit until you get it the way you want it. Now, you can try to click on this white eyedropper and then select the line and see how it looks. So let's do that. So you can see that removed the lines and all of my writing is still intact. So that can help you out. If it's not, if you select the line and it starts erasing your writing, then Command Z and just stick with what you have. So you can see it got rid of most of the lines for me, but I still have some right in here and right in there. But the writing's all intact and the lines look good. So I'm going to hit OK. So now we have this layer again. I'm going to again select Command L, and I am going to see if I can darken those darks again by sliding this dark slider to the right. See how it's all coming in and it's darker again. So I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so now what I want to do is focus on erasing these lines. So I'm going to click on the eraser tool, which is right here. If you right click, you see you have eraser tool, background eraser tool, and magic eraser tool. I'm going to start with the eraser tool. I am going to start erasing the prominent lines that I can see. Now, if your brush is too big or too small, you can change it by clicking up here and using the slider. Or what I like to do is use the left and right bracket keys. Using the right one makes it bigger. Using the left one makes it smaller. So I'm just going to erase it just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Making sure that I've got that line out. This is a pretty easy one, but you're going to have to get, with some of these, you're going to get real detailed in here. So we're going to go back and we're going to tweak this. But I know these lines are here and they're available, so I'm going to get the ones that I can get easily. So right in here. This is easy. This is easy. There. Again, you can make this brush really small and whoops, Command Z, go it too far. And you might have to really zoom in to get these. All right, so we've gotten rid of the obvious ones. So now what I'm going to do is go in and tweak the ones that I can see that take a little bit more care, like this one, and in between here, and in between here. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time and really zoom in and get these lines out of here. So once you have removed all of the lines that you can see, and again, you might have to zoom in. I see some more right there. Still using my eraser tool. Need to really get in there and zoom in and erase all of those lines. But we're going to take a second look. And in order to do that, we're going to, again, click on the eraser tool, right click and choose Magic Eraser. And then we're going to click on the white. That's going to remove the background. Make sure that the anti-alias is not checked and the contiguous is not checked. That will make sure that it erases all of the background that it sees. Now what we're going to do is go over here to the layers panel and we're going to add a new layer. You can do that here or you can go up to layer, new layer. So we're just going to add another layer. You don't have to name it if you don't want to. I'm going to turn off the eyeball on layer 1, and with this layer selected, I'm going to make sure that the white is in the foreground. If it's not, just double click on it. You can choose white, or you can choose right here this black and white square and then choose the arrows, and that'll put the white one on the top. Then I'm going to hit the shortcut for the paint bucket, or you can hit the paint bucket right here, and the shortcut is the letter G, and then we're just going to click on the canvas. That makes a white layer. Let's turn our recipe layer back on. I'm going to pull this white layer underneath, and that just lets me see it one more time to see if there's any lines showing once that background erased, or if it erased something that I didn't want it to. Everything looks perfect. I'm just going to take this white layer, drag and drop it to the trash. Don't need that. This is the PNG that I need for the Glowforge. So we're going to click File, Export, Quick as PNG. And I'll just call this Robin Recipe. That's who I'm making this for, and we'll click Save. Now all we have to do is open up the Glowforge app and import our PNG. So again, this is a very simple recipe. That's how I would do it no matter what I was doing. There just might be a little bit more cleanup if you had several more lines of text to take care of, or if your recipe is very decorative, you're going to have a little bit more to erase. So you're going to alternate between using the eraser tool, use that magic eraser tool to erase your background, and use your levels tool under image adjustment levels. And that will really help you make those blacks blacker and the whites whiter. So let's go over to the Glowforge app. So here we are in the Glowforge. We're going to click Upload. We're going to navigate to the scan that we just made. We're going to click Open. And here it is. So I'm going to put the cutting board inside the Glowforge. And there you can see the cutting board inside the Glowforge. Now I can resize this. And we can either put it this direction or I could put it this way. Since it's such a small recipe, I think I'll put this one in this direction. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. It's really not a lot to it once you get to this point. So now we need to enter our settings. Just going to click up here. I'm going to tell it I want it to engrave, and I have a custom setting. This is actually bamboo, but this has worked pretty well for me. I'll show you the settings if you want to see it. It's a speed of 1000, a precision power of 70, lines per inch 340, number of passes 1. And that has worked really well for engraving. So then we need to go up here to the materials, click unknown, and we're going to use an uncertified material, so we have to tell it how deep it is or how thick it is, and I'm going to put 0.25. Click submit. The next thing I'm going to do is click right here and set focus. I'm going to put that right in the middle of the board. That's just going to make the machine scan the board and set the focus for the height of the board. So it's just taking a look at it and scanning it. You can see right up here it says focusing, and now we can click print. It's going to calculate how long that it takes to print. It's telling me it's going to take 23 minutes to print this. That looks good. So all we have to do is click the start button on the Glowforge, and off it goes. And here's our finished recipe cutting boards. These are super easy, great for gift giving, and everyone loves them. You can always use them for a charcuterie tray, or you can turn them over and use them for an actual cutting board. I wouldn't use the engraved side as your cutting surface. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to click that bell so you're notified every time there's a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, never stop making. See ya. Bye-bye.